Okay, so Pythagorean theory. What is it? When do we use it? How is it used? The Pythagorean theory is a theory that states that the hypotenuse, or the longest side of a triangle, is the sum of the squares of the opposite two sides. So this word sum means plus, that's our word for addition, of the squares, these are squares, of the other two sides. This is one side, this is the other side. And this is known as your hypotenuse, which is your longest side. Oh, that's an H. Not at all. Longest side. Okay, so we've got a little hint down here that your right angle always points to the longest side. So if I look at the right angle, see how it's pointing? It's pointing to the longest side. Okay, that we treat it like a little, oops, daisies. I've been struggling with the pen today. We treat it like an arrow. Okay, we also have in here, it's good to know when we're doing any types of these questions that we've got speed is just a fraction where you've got distance over time. So in this question, or when you see your speed signs, you see kilometers per hour, that's 50 kilometers over 1 hour. That's how fast you should be going and driving in 1 hour. So we write it as a speed because our cars make it as a speed, but it means you would go 50 kilometers in 1 hour. So down here, there's a little bit of a diagrammatic thing, and we're going to make it go away because on the PDF you can't see that, and I don't even want to deal with that. Okay. So we are going to do example one together. Circle the side that is the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is the side that is pointed to by our 90 degrees. The 90 degrees is pointing that way. That is our hypotenuse. The 90 degrees is pointing that way. That is our hypotenuse. Explain how you know that it is the hypotenuse. Okay. The hypotenuse is the longest side in a triangle because it is across from the largest angle. What do I mean by that? The sum of all of the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So if I've got a triangle, oh, those lines are good today. We know that of the 180, if 180 is going to be broken into 3 parts, they equally would have to be 60 degrees. And that would mean it's something called an equilateral triangle, and we would have the lines that show it. This can't apply to us. We have a 90 degree in there. Well, 180 minus 90 is 90. So that means that this angle and this angle have to add up to give you 90. That makes this the biggest one because both of these are going to be smaller than 90 because they have to add up to 90. So the largest angle has the largest side across from it. The next largest angle will have the next largest side and so on and so forth. Okay? Find the missing side length. All right, so here's where we have to use our Pythagorean theory. We are using a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We have to know side length, hypotenuse. Okay. Where are our hypotenuses? Hypotenusi? I don't know how you make that plural. It's not important. Okay, so we've got 9 on this side, 12 on this side, and this is our unknown side. What side is that on this triangle? We think of our 90 degrees. We put it across. This is our hypotenuse. Find the missing side length. So we are going to have to do this work to find hypotenuse. So we are going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The hypotenuse is the part that always goes with the c. The a and the b are just whatever the other sides are on the triangle. It doesn't matter if I made a 12 or a 9. I'm just going to make that 9 squared plus 12 squared. It's these two sides. Okay, equals c squared. 9 squared plus 12 squared. Use your calculator. 9 squared is 81. 12 squared is 144. Always check that math. Whoopsies. It's not that number. It's there. And that gives you 225. 225 equals c squared. So we know what c squared is, but we want to know what c is. How do we undo this squared here? You have to take a square root. So that's going to undo it on that side. And we'll just be left with the c, which is all we want. But then you also have to do it over there. What you do to the one side, you have to do the other. So you have to find the square root button on your calculator. Some of you might have to go shift or second function the squared button. Okay, that's where mine is. Square root of 225 is not that answer. 15. Yay. 15 equals C. We did it. Okay, so that's our hypotenuse. Oh, and it's meters. I just saw this up here. Include your units. Let's look at this one. What sides have we been given? Well, here's our 90 degrees. Let's go across from the 90 degrees. This is our hypotenuse. So we've been given the h, which is our c value, and either a or b. Let's just call it b. And we're going to try and find a. Okay. So let's use our equation. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Put in what we know. A squared plus 7 squared equals 25 squared. Slow on that. Okay, I would actually do the calculator step right now. A squared plus 49, whoops, equals, I believe that's 625. Yes, equals 625. And then I would start isolating for the a squared. If you want to start isolating earlier, you can, but I always like getting my numbers to like a solid number. And then it just looks nicer in my brains. A squared equals 625 minus 49 is 576. 576. And we are going to take the square root of 576 to get that a by itself. Now, I don't think this 76. Oh, that does work out nicely. It's 24. As you can tell, I struggle with my perfect squares above 15. Okay, this is also supposed to be meters. But first I'm going to hit undo. Now I'm going to put meters there and see if it moved it back to the, okay.